John Davis, absolutely one of the best.
John Davis, True Crime.
John Davis, True Crime.
John Davis doing what true crimers do.
John Davis, True Crime.
John Davis.
John Davis, True Crime.
Mr. John Davis. John Davis, True Crime.
John Davis, True Crime.
This guy, John Davis.
John Davis, True Crime.
John Davis, True Crime. Maybe that's where I've heard that name before.
John Davis, True Crime.
John Davis, and it's good to see you, John. How are you?
John Davis, True Crime.
John Davis, True Crime.
Hey, John Davis.
John Davis.
John Davis, True Crime.
John Davis, True Crime kicks butt.
Tune in and watch John Davis, True Crime. You will love it. It's one of the best channels on YouTube. Tune in. It's John Davis, True Crime.
Good Monday morning, April 22nd, 2024. Happy Monday, everybody.
Good morning. Good morning. I'm here on time. John said I was fired.
Brandy,
I'm not late anymore.
Brandy's out of late days. She's at a point, she's under a write-up right now.
Oh, no.
She's on a write-up. Shit happens again.
Fired.
Gone.
Uh-oh.
Our Monday started off with a banger. It's been a cliffhanger all weekend, really.
Yeah.
Problem has arisen in the JDTC household that has reached a fevered pitch.
Yeah, you could say that.
Let's flash back, shall we?
Yeah.
Saturday. Was it Saturday? Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Saturday. The toilet stopped up.
Yeah.
Ooh. So naturally, I plunged the shit out of it. But in the process, a cigarette butt
Came out.
Nobody in this house smokes. I quit smoking.
For over a year.
Still vape, but I haven't smoked over a year.
It wasn't me. I don't like smoking.
My Brandy.
Our oldest, Bradley, he don't get out of the house. So I wouldn't think it was him.
He's 18.
Yeah. He could smoke if he wanted to, but not in our house.
Technically, we couldn't stop him.
Right.
If he wanted to. Right?
Yeah. Taylor, nah. Too young.
Taylor'd never have the opportunity.
No.
Keep our eye on her 24/7.
Right.
She's on lifetime lockdown. Being paranoid parents because we
are.
watch a lot of true crime.
So who does that leave?
Who's that leave?
Our middle child.
Our middle child. 16-year-old. Athlete.
Yeah. Smart, genius, IQ. Very smart.
This boy ain't made a B, but
Ever.
one time on a report card in his whole life, he's made one B.
But mostly hundreds.
Yeah, and we're not bragging. We're amazed by it too.
Yeah. I
Boy,
don't know how he's that smart. Never
studies. Ain't never broken a book home for homework. Never. Wins like awards constantly. He won something where he had the highest test score in the county.
Yeah.
Got a couple of those actually.
Yeah. He'll probably get a scholarship full ride for education, like for his grades, I'm sure.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, he's our suspect.
Yeah, because we had an incident a while back at school. I won't mention that, but it involved something similar, right?
A couple of years ago, been a couple by now, right?
Yeah.
A couple of years ago, he was caught with a vape in the bathroom at school. A couple vapes, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Multiple vapes.
Yeah.
Told us.
The other guy handed them to me. I didn't know what to do.
Holding them for a friend.
I'm like, yeah, right.
We let it pass. Telling
Benefit of the doubt first time, you know?
Yes. Because there had been no signs. I'd never seen a vape. Not that we constantly go through his stuff. even though now we may have to start doing some more, we might have to further this investigation.
Yeah. But it's just not the cigarette butt, y'all. I couldn't accuse him of that because we don't know really who it came from, right?
Brandy wanted him grounded.
Yeah, I said yesterday. I'm like, I know it's probably him.
I let him go out to eat with his girlfriend, caused a whole fight between me and Brandy. Brandy jumped on me, was mean. Mm-hmm. Because I went to bat for him. I was like, look, we don't know it was his. Can't ground him when there's not proof. Well, fast forward to this morning's school drop-off.
I was driving the kids to school. All of a sudden, Taylor hands me something. I'm like, what is this? Well, you know, it's a vape in the backseat laying. Oh my God, how stupid is he? Something like that in the car. He's already in trouble. Oh my gosh.
Found a vape in the car this morning.
Not John's.
No, wasn't mine. He's been questioned, and this kid has the nerve to tell us, I was holding it for a friend. Here's his name. Here's his information, his contact information. You can call him. He'll vouch for it.
Like what? Okay. Chase, I've been a kid, you know. Like, come on. You could come up with something better than that, y'all.
Jesse said, I left pot on my parents' bed when I was in high school.
Oh. Jesse.
You're another master criminal.
He's smart in other departments, but I don't know. He's not the smartest when it comes to stuff like that.
He told us that, though. Brandy's got it in the text.
Oh,
you can call this guy. He's going to explain it to you. He's going to straighten this whole mess out. Wrong. Grounded.
Yeah, it's hard to be a parent. I'll tell you.
Oh, we got to be bad guy on this one.
Yeah, we do. I think I'm going to ground him from his girlfriend. That'll hurt him the worst, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But we have come to a conclusion, like, he's going to ask him one more time if it was his, you know, to tell the truth. And if not, he's going to be grounded longer. If he tells the truth, it'll be less.
Right. He's getting 4 days of no girlfriend, no baseball, no nothing. School at home. If he comes straight up clean and confesses. If he tells us a fib, he's getting this weekend and maybe next week too.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully he ain't watching the show.
Yeah, I hope not.
Or he's going to know our game plan. Damn, he's a smart one. He might be watching the show. If you're watching the show, turn it off now. We were just joking. We'll see you when you get home.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's how our Monday started off. Stressful. Over the weekend, not a lot happened. Not a ton. Here's one thing I did catch.
Me and Chris are putting our differences aside. It's not about our egos. It's about finding Sebastian. Me, Chris, and Katie will begin working together. And if everybody else could just fuck off and put your egos aside, help us find our son. Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers is the goal of this shit. If you can't get on that, get the
then you can F off.
What? I'm like, what? What's that all about?
My thing is, I get the sentiment, kind of. You know, he's saying, I'm going to work with Chris and Katie for the betterment of Sebastian. Okay. Fine. Why you got to go throwing the F off to anybody that don't like it? He helped create the narrative around Chris and Katie.
Yeah.
He aided in that a lot.
He's the one that gave us most of the information about him, right?
Exactly. The time to be working with Chris and Katie was in the beginning. It's very odd to now decide after 55 plus days that it's the time.
Yeah. I think he's gullible, maybe.
Now, right before he made that statement, okay, there was a, oh shit, do I not have it on here? Hold on, I'm gonna have to add it. Hold on, y'all, 1 second. Oh man.
What?
Right before he made that statement, where's my phone?
Oh, we're there.
Hold on. He was talking to Chris Proudfoot. That's all the picture of. I ain't gonna worry about the picture that much. I had the picture though, but he seen right before he said that. I mean, immediately right before that, he seen talking to Chris Proudfoot. Now, I only seen a couple shots of it, but to me, it looked like Chris was taking an aggressive posture.
Yeah,
like kind of up on him a little bit.
Yeah.
So could that have something to do with the situation? I forgot to turn the light on. Let me over.
Yeah, I know.
Go turn it on, will you? Don't turn it way super bright.
I noticed that too. How he was stealing.
You didn't need to move it now. You're going to mess with the reflection in the thing. Yeah.
That good?
That's good. Yes, seemed heated. I did. I effed off. I keep saying there's something off. I'm sure my fellow energy workers can feel it. Here's I think a lot of people, because I even made a clip a little short about it and all this, and a lot of people seem to think I was being taking shit out of context and all that. My thing is, I look at these cases 24 hours a day, it feels like, constantly. And when you look at the amount of support this man has gotten, okay, from people helping searching, people doing live streams, putting his picture out, all that, all the help he's gotten from everyone and support, okay, for me, for him to come off and make a statement, well, guess what? I'm going to work with Chris and Katie. And if y'all don't like it, F off. Yeah. That is just, it's deplorable to me.
My opinion, his case wouldn't be where it is if it wasn't for YouTube. You know, it's on the news, but not as much on as YouTube. You know, really, social media is helping.
You know, and in the end, it is all about Sebastian.
Right, it is. But you shouldn't be sitting there talking trash about his, you know.
About telling people to F off. Yeah. You are the one. Nobody had, as far as I'm aware, knew about the molestation incident until he brought it up.
Yeah, he brought it up.
He brought that up. Now, how many people do you think he turned on them by that? What percentage of the people do you think were automatically? I know after I knew it, I thought less of Chris and Katie, right? How many people do you think had that same effect, right? And then he's going to go back and tell everybody, well, guess what? I'm working with Chris and Katie, and if you don't like it, F off. It's mind-boggling. Is it not?
Yeah. Why would you even have to make a statement? Just start working with them. You know what I mean? You know? Like, I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. There was no need for none of that. None of that. It's nobody's business what he's doing. Why did he have to even tell anybody he was working with Chris and Katie?
Talking about him and just, you know.
It's almost like he went out of his way to tell people to F off that had an issue with it. And I know a lot of people say, well, he targeted toward this person, that person. Well, you know, he may have, but I'm telling you what, 90% of people think that it was ridiculous for him to say what he said.
Yep, I agree. Oh, it's kind of rude.
I've even people say, "Oh, it was about the guy that was on Facebook that faked having Sebastian." No, it wasn't. I watched it. It was about the basic point was this: he was working with Chris and Katie, and if you don't like it, F off.
Yeah.
That was the gist of it. It didn't have nothing to do with all this other stuff.
I don't like it.
I don't like it either. I'm not going to F off. I'm still going to, talk about Sebastian, show his picture and all that. But I think it's wild.
Yeah.
To number one, and I'm not saying he's not a man or nothing like that. How he could contain himself with Chris Proudfoot up in his face like that after knowing what he had done to Sebastian, I'm thinking that's probably one of the first times he's been that close to him.
Mm-hmm.
I would have a super hard time composing myself in the man's presence. Everybody will say, well, he's doing what's better for Sebastian working with him. What advantage is there from him working with Chris and Katie?
Yeah, they're doing a so lie.
At the end of the day, what is it helping the case?
No.
I'm just interested to know how them getting along is going to be so advantageous to the case.
Yeah, when you already ruined the relationship for everybody else. Because really, the way I look at them is because of stuff he said about them. In my opinion.
Smiley's chat that night, he said he meant the F off to be directed to his haters, not his supporters.
Well, you should have said it a little bit differently, huh?
Why is he worried about haters?
If you're, I agree. It's just bad how he said it.
It's another a parent of a missing kid that gets all wrapped up in what people are saying.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand.
I don't either.
I give a damn less if my son was missing what somebody said on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be the last thing on my mind.
Yeah. I couldn't get along with somebody that was responsible for him and was the last ones that, had in their custody. You know what I mean? I just couldn't get over that part.
Yes, it was, and I didn't like it. I'm here for Sebastian, and the three of them need to go on trying to get info from Seth. I don't know.
Maybe there's a plan behind it, but I don't know what it would be.
I think he really regrets what he said. His PI put statement out to clarify.
Mm.
I just, to me, it was a social media disaster doing what he did.
Yeah, he could have done it differently.
It just looks so bad to me. That's all I'm saying. And people, I tell you what, people are pissed about it too. He can put out as much as he wants about why he said and who he was talking about. But at the end of the day, I thought he was pretty clear that he was talking to anybody that had a problem with him working with Chris and Katie. Whether you support him or not didn't seem to matter. It seemed to be if you had a problem with that, F off.
Yep, that's what I got to.
Yep. I thought it was very clear. I don't think there's a lot of question about what he meant. And I just really don't see, like I said, why now the time to work with them was in the beginning, and which he did for a while. Remember the first few weeks,
He didn't say much.
There wasn't much being said. And then, there for a few weeks, there was all kinds of stuff coming out, him saying, and now he wants to go back to working with them. It's weird to me, is all I'm saying. It's really strange. And I see no advantage to what at this point, what it's going to matter. I mean, I don't think Chris is going to be persuaded by Seth to do anything necessarily.
Yeah, it was pointless, I think. Really.
I don't know, man. I just thought it was a horrible look. And I tell you what, Proudfoot's a lot bigger than Seth.
Mm-hmm.
In the way the shots I seen, he looks a lot taller.
Yeah. Yeah, he does look a lot taller. I didn't realize how big of a guy Seth was. Or him, so.
His delivery needed work.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, definitely.
A lot of work.
And I tell you, so the social media, everything I was watching yesterday, there was a lot of live streams on. And I mean, people were really railing on his statement in both directions. You know, there was a lot of people saying, you know, I ain't what he meant, blah, blah, blah. And then there was a lot of people just going off about Seth. A lot of people, there's a faction of people that suspect Seth.
Yeah.
It's not near the size of the ones that suspect Chris and Katie, but there's quite a few people that think Seth is shady.
Yeah.
You know, and they bring up this stuff. This was on Reddit talking about his polygraph was inconclusive. You know, a lot of people think, well, you know, it's known to everybody you can't take drugs and get an accurate polygraph. So does it matter one way or the other? I don't know.
Was he taking something?
Yeah, he's on painkillers for his shoulder or whatever.
That's probably why.
Mm-hmm. Probably is.
Yeah.
You know, but his mom's the one that kind of brought it up and let it out that it was inconclusive.
Mm-hmm.
I hadn't heard that.
Yeah, me either.
But it came out. Oh, and I seen this too because I was looking through. I look on Facebook at all the families stuff, and Seth's sister had showed this where people were making up accounts trying to pretend to be Seth and stuff like that.
That's sick, isn't it?
There's a fake account somebody's making on Facebook trying to act like Seth.
That's mean.
So much of that, man. Facebook is full of dirtbags.
Yeah, they need to be better at controlling that. I think Facebook, my opinion, because I don't know how many times a day I see like fake cars listed there for sale. Everybody knows it's a scam. They need to start, you know.
Yeah,
it's awful.
And I want to go back to Friday too, because Friday we had a call and they made some statements about Katie, and she had been arrested for aiding and abetting and abusing a kid that was deceased. I looked into it like I promised I would. I said, I'm going to check into it. Let me see what I see. Okay. Yeah. So I looked at the Landon Payne story and all that, and I summed it up. I think this to me sums it up. These are the two women. Okay. I don't even see a resemblance.
Yeah. I did there for a minute. I wasn't looking at them together, but yeah, they don't look like.
But if you were here Friday, you know what I'm talking about. We had a caller that was saying that
she had previous charges.
Yeah.
For bad stuff.
Saying that Katie's mother had murdered her nephew.
Yeah.
Which that is a real story, a real case. Those are real people. But she was saying that this Katie and this Katie are one and the same. No.
Yeah, y'all can tell it's not her.
They're not. And you can tell, like the one on the left, that's the one
that actually did it.
Who actually was in on she got charged for the death of her nephew. Her name's Katie too. That's Katie Payne. The one on the right's Katie Proudfoot. And I'm assuming, I guess she was a maiden Payne, possibly. Yeah. I don't know, but they are 100% not the same two.
Yeah, if you take a look at both of them together, you can tell, you know.
But like I said, you know, the call Friday, I said, I'm not going
to
say it's not possible. I'll look into it myself and see what I find. And that's what I found.
Yeah. I think we would hear that in the news and on YouTube and stuff if she did something like that. That was her background, you know? Yeah.
And, you know, the people that thought that, I'm not giving them a bunch of shit because I feel like they honestly believe that. You know, they made a mistake.
Yeah.
It happens. They won't be the first or the last for that to happen too. And I've done background searches and I've seen stuff, and a lot of stuff I've seen where a lot of stuff is inaccurate, especially on these background sites. Like if the name matches and that's it, there's a chance that a charge will show up on somebody's profile.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of that, you really got to dig deep before you go put it out there, because you don't want to be wrong, because these are obviously two different people. They have no connection.
Yeah.
And looking into it too, like that crime occurred right around when she would have been pregnant with Seth or Sebastian.
Yeah.
And a lot of the dates, I mean, if you really dig into it, it's not the same people. And like I said, I think it was an honest mistake. So I'm not trying to come off as an ass about.
Right.
I just want people to know that's the situation. I mean, I can look at them and tell that just is not the same woman. The one on the left, she looked like she kind of got a lazy eye, almost cross-eyed a little bit.
Her skin is olive, and their skin tones are different. Too.
Yeah. The nose is kind of similar.
Yeah, that's what I see.
But we all make mistakes. But I didn't want to think that I just blew it off and didn't even check it out, because I did. I checked it out and looked, and that's what I come up with. And the other story's horrible. Like the woman, the actual story of the woman and her mom and all that. There was like 4 or 5 people ended up getting charged in that had been around this situation that led to a kid basically being neglected to death.
Yeah. It just gets, I don't know how so many dumb people get together sometimes and do a crime. None of them have any sense, like the 4 people that killed the 2 women. Not one of you have any sense, to say this is not a good idea. This is not going to work.
Not one of you thought, hey, maybe,
they'll link it right to us, right?
Yeah. Maybe burying him on my property might come back to get me.
Yeah.
Why are we doing this for this lady?
Really? They'll be thinking that in jail, in prison, I'm sure, for the rest of their life.
Hello, everyone. Just caught up. I think Seth announced he was working with him for Chris's benefit. Maybe even Chris told him to say it.
Maybe.
I think it had something to do with that conversation right before.
Yeah. Maybe. Definitely.
Yeah.
You think, well, I shouldn't say that. I was going to say, I think Seth is kind of scared of Chris.
Oh, no, I think a lot of people wonder that if maybe he intimidated him. People get intimidated, it happens. I think it's a fair question. I don't know. For him to do the 180 like he did,
that's crazy.
Makes you think there was something. He just didn't gradually come to the thinking that he should work together. Like there was something that initiated that. The fact that he was talking to Chris Proudfoot right before he said it makes you think that could have been part of why.
Yeah, I agree.
But I guess what he's thinking, that they should work together for Sebastian, but I really don't see where it's going to help.
Yeah.
Unless maybe it help you keep up on their whereabouts. But even then, I mean, after the fact, I don't know.
Like John said, you should have been doing that from the beginning. Really?
Oh yeah. In the beginning would have been the best time to be working with each other from the beginning. Now I don't even know how, after all they've said about each other back and forth, how you could get along with somebody at this point. I'm sure Katie has told all of Seth's secrets to Chris.
Oh, probably.
Maybe it was a case of that. You never know. Maybe like there's something in Seth's closet he don't want to.
Yeah, true.
And they've agreed, look, you don't say nothing, we won't say nothing. Bygones be bygones, and go from there. Seth himself said Chris was holding something over his head. We assumed it was the SA, but you know what they say about assuming.
Yeah, there might be something else, right? Who knows? That would make more sense than what actually happened. So I just think if none of these people had anything to do with him going missing, who would it be? You know, his case is hard. Sebastian. If it was none, Chris wasn't, Katie wasn't, Seth. Who was it?
I don't know. I just to me after saying that, you know, basically they were responsible for him getting molested and all that. I don't know how either party could really accomplish anything together.
Yeah.
I think Seth was doing the right thing with the PIs. I think if I was in Seth's situation, that's what I would be concentrating on more than anything, was searching and PIs.
Yep.
I don't think, you know, unless, you know, maybe that was part of, maybe the PIs have an angle that they need them to be
friends.
Friendly.
Yeah, maybe.
CP has connections and money behind him, needs to be in control, and is in desperate need to be seen as innocent. He used some strong arm tactic on Seth, in my opinion.
Maybe.
A lot of people think maybe it was a lawsuit thing. Like, look, you've slandered us. You keep it up, we're going to sue you. And maybe it could have been something like that. Now, I don't know, as long as it's the truth, if you can get liable for slander.
Right. If it's the damn truth.
I mean, that being the reason, the F off hypocrisy, I'll pay attention and F off. He hurt his son's case with that. I mean, we can all, you know, debate his meaning and all that, but he definitely hurt the support for his case.
I agree.
I think the reason it struck me so hard, though, is I keep going back to Whitney Hatfield and how nobody will talk about her story or even act like there's a story to be talked about.
Yeah.
You know, and how her grandma and her aunt and her mom and everybody's just begging
for people to
pay attention, to help, to do anything. They're begging for it. And I see that, and then I see a man who's getting about every resource attention he can on his son's case. Turn around and if you don't like something about what he's doing, you can F off.
Right.
Just
crazy.
It's troubling to me. You know, I just thought it was wild. I still do. Not gonna get it. You know.
Yeah, I was kind of neutral, like how I felt about him. I don't know about now. You know, really makes me think different about him.
It makes me think different about him.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people are interested in all this too. The amount of money being raised around Sebastian and going to him.
Oh, yeah.
You know, this is from one GoFundMe. That don't include cash apps and that stuff, you know. And that's from a couple days ago. It's probably more than that now.
Right.
You know, that's a big chunk of money. And people brought up, and you know, I like sharing stuff I hear that I find interesting. I think it's wild things, points and all that, right? Somebody brought this up yesterday, and I thought it was wild too. They said, if you recall, Seth talked about being homeless, right? He was homeless for a period of time.
Yeah, I remember that.
And he talked about through, you know, all that and all these issues, he managed to keep the Gerber policy on Sebastian the whole time.
That's weird to say, huh?
It's wild, ain't it?
Yeah.
You were homeless, but you managed to keep
the Gerber
life insurance policy going.
Maybe he's mentioned it because later on, if he wants to cash it in, I don't know how that works. You know, people wouldn't be as shocked.
Hi, where are you from? A lot, and you know that faction of people, like I was talking about, the anti-Seth group, they think, and there's been this group from the beginning that thinks it's all a scam anyway. It's all for money. Well, you never know.
Yeah. I don't think it's for money. I don't think somebody has them hiding, you know.
I don't either.
I don't think that's realistic. But some people do. I've heard them say that.
But I mean, I don't know about y'all. To me, that's a lot of damn money. $24,000.
Who's that going to? Seth?
Yeah.
To search and stuff? Or
Yeah.
That's probably why he's okay not working, you know?
Yeah.
He can search and pay PIs. Well, that's good that they raised that money. Hopefully he's using it right.
Seth knew about Sebastian's abuse. He told us some of it. The whole diaper thing is awful. He didn't file for custody. He didn't do nothing to protect his son. He didn't put up any reward with all that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you, he's losing support.
Yeah, he is.
And that one statement of, if people don't like him working with Chris and Katie,
yeah,
that really turns the momentum for him.
Yeah, because you're the one that made everybody have a problem with them, right? Pretty much.
That's my bickering about it. Is he helped create this
narrative
outrage against them? And now he's saying, if you don't like them, F off. And I don't know whoever would be cool with him knowing what they did to that boy.
Yeah.
You know?
Your child, yeah.
You can say what happened to him. They didn't catch it. You know, that could happen to anybody. Yeah, the diaper thing. The issue with CPS when Sebastian said he hit him with the belt.
Right.
I would have an extremely hard time working with them people if that was my son.
And he's missing, you know.
And I tell you, and I got a lot of that yesterday because I got a ton of hate for saying I thought this was ridiculous. People, for some reason, seem to think he meant everything but what he said.
He meant what he meant. Like, you know, how he said it. I think he meant what
I can't see getting to the point where I see working with Chris and Katie as more advantageous than all the other people helping.
Yeah. You need to watch how you speak if that's not how you want her to come across, you know.
I mean, and right around the time this was all going on, I'm pretty sure it was near the timing of the vigil stuff. You know, where Chris and Katie are seen at the vigil.
Chris left.
Time, right? They're at the motorcycle shop.
Yeah.
Right around this time.
They said Chris left. He had something to do. I don't know about Katie. He didn't stay. I seen.
I don't know. I just heard that during all this they were seen at the motorcycle shop.
Yeah, I seen that too. But I did see that. Like they weren't there. I know at least Chris wasn't there.
I tell you, they are like rock stars. Wherever they go, they get spotted. You know, people are seeing all that. They went Harley shopping. Yeah.
They're just going on with their life, you know. If you could do that, you know, more power to you. But I don't think I could. I couldn't do that. I'd be looking for a kid.
I thought Seth has an undiagnosed spectrum disorder. Based on everything I know about autism, the most recent statement sealed it for me.
Maybe he did.
Maybe that's what it is.
He comes across awkward. Yeah.
Yeah.
He kind of does to me. Maybe how he said it. He didn't mean it that way, but that's how everybody takes it.
See, everybody, you know, from what I'm hearing, a lot of that's hereditary, and a lot of people's been saying they thought it was Katie, but maybe it could have been Seth.
Yeah.
Yeah, if your kid is missing and you are living your best life, you will be spotted.
Yeah, really.
He at least submitted to a polygraph. We see no proof of PF's doing that. He also has a verified alibi for the night of 25th of February. Yeah, I in no way think he's really a valid suspect.
I'll say, yeah.
I think he just made a horrible judgment to, number one, to say what he said. Number two, if he's really thinking it's going to be beneficial working with them. What are you going to do? Go bike shopping with them together?
Yeah, really.
You know?
Yeah, that's what they do. They run, you know, instead of looking for their son, that they ran. Like, you know.
I'm not saying they wasn't at that vigil, but they weren't in the footage I seen of it.
No, it says on there, if you watch it longer, that Chris had to leave. He had other stuff to do.
I just watched the vigil. I just watched the clip that was the vigil, and it was like what I seen was 30 minutes, and he wasn't there or she wasn't there in any of it unless they were off camera.
Yeah. Well, I watched it, and it actually said that. I don't know about Katie, but him, it did say he had to leave.
Seth was up on stage for it.
So
I don't understand his statement of F off and then go on a panel the next morning and talk about how suspect Katie is. It's crazy, y'all.
Yeah. Maybe Chris and him are thinking Katie had something to do with it. You never know.
See, that's what I seen that too. What they're talking about. That was what we was watching the other morning.
Yeah.
Peter Hyatt, wasn't it?
Yeah.
The next morning, and he's, I don't know. It's like Peter Hyatt was seemed to be suspicious of Katie, and he's there for that. Well, how could you? Yeah, I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it at all. I think maybe people are right that's saying that it's Seth trying to be tricky and get info from him. I'm thinking that might be what it is, but I'm telling you, I don't see that working.
I don't either.
I really don't. I don't think they're dumb enough to let Seth Jedi mind trick them into something when they ain't screwed up so far, apparently.
Oh, yeah. I don't. Yeah, they won't slip. I'm pretty sure they won't. So that's a bad plan, if that's what you're planning.
I don't trust Seth or Chris at all.
Yeah, I don't either.
See, and that's the thing, too. I think what's happened in this case is everybody has gotten this thing that Chris and Katie are the bad people.
Right.
That must mean Seth's the good guy.
Right.
Not necessarily.
Right.
Because Seth knew what happened to Sebastian under their watch, and he didn't have him.
He let it continue.
It would make you think he would have had real good grounds to have had custody, to me.
Right. Yep, I agree.
I'm not saying he's the bad guy. I'm just saying because Chris and Katie aren't great people doesn't make him a good person. Right. You know?
Yep. People shouldn't see it as one being bad and one being good. You know?
Right. And I don't know, a lot of people saying that they think Katie has an insurance policy, but I've seen no proof of that.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, I haven't seen that. That'd be crazy if she did.
Anything premeditated just seems stupid on Chris and Katie's part to me, because they're going to be such suspects with the CPS thing just happening, with the past of what happened. And they're watching him. Anything premeditated on their part when he was going to be with Seth shortly, it wasn't going to be long, a few months. Anything premeditated makes no damn sense to me.
The whole thing don't make sense to me. Like, if he's going to live with his dad anyways, you know, I don't get it.
People, a lot of people seem to think it's over him. Sebastian was going to testify in a custody case. I don't know that there's any proof of that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a theory, I guess, but I don't hold a lot. I don't think it holds a lot of water. I curse with curiosity. Exactly, Courtney said. Yeah, sorry, I missed. Chris has the most to gain for Sebastian out of the house.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, you know, Sebastian being missing isn't going to help Chris's custody case.
No.
I'm not saying it's going to hurt it necessarily, but it damn sure is not going to help it. Curse with Curiosity gifted 5 John Davis True Crime memberships.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
I'll have to look and see. Let's see. I'm on my game today. Let's see who got them.
Curse with Curiosity, did you notice you're in the intro?
Christy, Missy, Dolores Hayes, It is what it is. Poetic justice. And where are you from? And that's who got them.
I think I'm going to start doing a lot more membership videos because everybody's been getting demonetized and struck and everything else lately. I think that's the safest way to keep yourself out of trouble.
Yeah, really. I don't know what's up here lately with everybody getting strikes.
I love your filter thing, Curse with Curiosity. I want to, won't you email me whatever app that is? I love that. Have you seen hers? It's like, it's I don't know. She almost looks like a cartoon. It's cool. Chabarka got to go. Popped in to say bye. Thanks for stopping by, Chabarka. Hit that thumbs up. Everybody go ahead and hit the thumbs up.
Yeah, while you're in here.
I may get hate for this, but I think the only thing that Chris is guilty of is his knowledge after the fact.
Yeah.
Chicken Lady, I think there's a good chance you're correct.
Yeah, I
You
agree.
ain't gonna get no hate from me. YouTube has stepped up and is enforcing the privacy policy, etc., on terms of service, so more channels are getting hit by being reported.
Oh, yeah.
I just got out of trouble. We can't get into it again. We just got over our probation warning period for
something
billion pedos.
Oh yeah, that. But you know, I don't know why they do that to themselves. They make money off of us, you know. Really.
I don't know. I know it seems like it's been a real slippery slope lately for a lot of folks.
Yeah.
I think it's a TikTok filter. Is that all it is? I've never seen that on TikTok. I'll have to look into it. Rule of thumb, everyone is a suspect.
Yeah, you can't rule anybody out. Maybe all three of them didn't have nothing to do with it. It might be somebody else.
Oh, Burnt Dirt threw out our tip jar. We now have a tip jar. I used to be too prideful for that, but I put in a lot of time, y'all. If people get mad that I have a tip jar, I'm sorry.
Yeah, this is his job, pretty much.
Yeah. Peanut got Brandy fired.
About he could have.
No,
If I had a job.
Not really. He tried.
Yeah. That's wrong. Calling somebody's work.
I'm on probation until the first week of June.
He hasn't talked about us lately, though.
Nah.
We stopped talking about him. There's no use. That's a mess.
He's in a bad spot right now with him and Dawn's breakup.
Yeah. Oh yeah. They did break up, didn't they? The friendship.
I stepped away to fill up my coffee. Came back a member. Thank you.
Yay.
That's awesome, ain't it?
Yeah. I did hear about Caleb Harris. They didn't have anything on him. You know, that 21-year-old went outside and went missing.
Yeah.
They said they found some Reddit posts on his phone. So they didn't have before. So
on whose phone?
Caleb Harris.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Like he was talking to somebody. They didn't really go into it, but they found those. Like I heard. So that might be something they can find out what happened, maybe. He was talking to somebody on there.
That's a head scratcher, the Caleb Harris one.
Yeah.
Steps out, getting ready to get his DoorDash, and just poof.
Gone.
Never seen again.
They said he didn't even have shoes on. He's barefooted.
And see, they said he took a picture and sent it to somebody where he's walking the dog near the bridge, right? The dog was in the house.
That's weird.
So how did the dog get back to the house and he didn't?
Or maybe he came back and then went missing.
People should never go real life, especially with jobs. I don't like Don Wells, but I did not like people showing up at his job site.
Yeah, nobody really knew where I worked, but I don't know. He might could have found out, but it wouldn't really hurt me. I work for myself. So.
Yeah. John and Brandy, I want to say that I've really enjoyed having y'all to tune into every morning during the week. Thank you for all you do and for being real. Thank you, Prissy Missy.
Thank you.
I tell you, it's hard it's hard to keep people's attention sometimes when you're not willing to rabbit hole.
Yeah.
I'm not doing it.
All right.
We've got us a pretty decent sized channel, and I ain't never told nobody nothing that I didn't believe.
Yeah. It pays off in the long run. You know, people come here, they know that you hear the truth, you know?
Yes.
They don't have to question you. So
I see the back and forth in chat about people being cleared. Nobody's being cleared. You know, just because you have a good alibi doesn't mean you're not involved either, you know.
Law enforcement usually don't clear a lot of people, it seems like to me. Do they in cases? Unless they have,
I think they do when they can.
tons of evidence that it wasn't that person. But
you know,
like in Summer's case, nobody's been ruled out. Really.
John and Brandy, do you guys know if they found out who was behind the false alarm? If you're talking about the incident of the guy saying he had Sebastian, now I'm not sure. I know it was reported though. That's like what I was saying earlier. People on Facebook are really evil. Yeah. Some of them, they harass Whitney Hatfield's family too, and send them. They've showed me some stuff they've been sent. It's horrible.
Like they get joy out of it for some reason.
I think that should be a crime.
Yeah,
I think false harassment of missing children's families should be a crime.
Yeah. People are emotional anyways, you know, trying to find their kid, and people do that to them. It's awful.
Keep doing what you know. We're here for it.
Oh.
I appreciate it. I'm not going there on this rabbit hole bullshit though. Some of it's wild.
Yeah, definitely.
Rumor was. I'm sorry. Look how slow my shit's moving. Rumor was they were organizing a bike run for Sebastian.
Oh. Is that why they were at the Harley shop?
In his thing they had for him, the vigil or whatever little thing the other day, they had the FFA kids give him a certificate he had gotten from participating, but they said he wasn't in the class, but he had participated online or somehow, and he got him a little certificate. I was like, oh, it's so sad.
Yeah.
You know, I remember the FFA, Future Farmers of America.
We didn't have that, I don't think. What did you do?
I think you learn about agriculture and stuff. I didn't say, you know, so we had it.
Gotcha.
We have to take into consideration we are hearing the words of Chris, Katie, and Seth. It doesn't mean they're telling the truth about any of their whereabouts.
True, very true.
Yes, and that's a good point. And I've always said that too in Summer's case, we've heard the timeline they've told YouTube.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean it is anything close to the timeline they told the police.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. You can tell YouTube whatever you want. It's what that they have down in that police report. Your written statement is the only thing you can be held to.
Yep.
We still have FFA here. They do field trips to my farm.
Oh, how cool.
Chicken Lady, you got you a sweet farm, don't you? I hope the FBI arrested the fake kidnapper for extortion.
I hope so too. That's crazy.
That is so
sick. Really sick.
What's got to be going through your mind that you do some shit like that?
I don't know. Trying to hurt people. That's all. I don't get why you do that.
Sebastian had no good parents. They all failed him daily, and I hope he doesn't go back to any of them if he comes back.
They could have done a better job, that's for sure.
I don't know. You know, I hate to judge people that harshly, but when you look at what we do know,
it's not good.
It makes you wonder why he was still with Katie after what happened.
Yeah.
You know.
Yep.
What would be Seth's motivation to harm Sebastian?
I don't think. See, I have a hard time finding a motivation for any of them, really. That's my.
See, I don't see it for Seth, and I don't see it for Chris either.
Me either. What's the motive? He's going to live with Seth anyways, you know, for Chris.
for Chris, he was getting ready to be done with Sebastian. If he sees Sebastian as a problem or an issue, he had been putting up with it for years. Now at the point where it's said, and as far as I've heard, this hasn't been questioned, that Sebastian is going to live with his dad and get enrolled in school there. Why now is there motivation to do something with him? I don't see it.
Yeah. I don't think it was planned. If something happened, it was, maybe in the moment something was done, my opinion.
And Chris is a crane operator. He makes damn good money.
Yeah, he does make good money.
You see the neighborhood they live in.
Great.
They're doing great. Any planned thing just seems so stupid to me. That's why I really think it smells like an accident to me. Katie was the adult with Sebastian. Katie snapped. Maybe. If I had to make a guess right now that I was going to be held to, if I had to pick, that's what I would say.
Yeah, me too.
The whole diaper thing did it for me. Seth known he had to wear diapers to high school, and he didn't file for custody, so Seth was okay with the abuse. That's what I'm saying. I mean, there's problems on both sides. Let's just be honest.
Yeah. Maybe Chris covered up for Katie. Who knows?
Well,
she would have had to have help, you think?
Right now, I think something happened. She called him.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they were on the phone for so long. They figured out what to do. I almost think the next morning when she goes to say she goes to look for him, she says she goes to the school and around the neighborhood and all this, he was transported somewhere then. Maybe,
yeah.
I don't know.
I just don't know, like, how she do that by herself.
Hi, Emma.
But she might have been able to.
See, that's my thing. It looks like to me Katie'd have a real hard time moving Sebastian by herself.
Yeah.
Don't it?
Yep.
Yes, Katie did something and panicked and called him.
Yeah, that's what I think too.
I think that's the most likely for what we know. Now that the timeline seems to hold up, because that's one thing that I think hurts a lot of cases is that it's reported so late that a lot of stuff's hard to prove.
Right.
But it seems like at least the timeline holds together until they get home.
Yeah.
Now I'm seeing, and I don't know if this is 1,000% yet, but I'm seeing where they're saying there is footage of Sebastian taking out the trash.
Yeah, I've seen that too.
That seems like to me now that's been settled. They did see him take out the trash. So that even pushes that timeline closer. He made it home from the restaurant. He took out the trash. Then you got him and Katie in that house until 6:30 the next morning.
Right.
Unless law enforcement's holding out, there's no sign of anybody coming into the neighborhood. There's no footprints of him leaving or scent, or he don't even have shoes to leave.
Yeah. Camera's not working, so
cameras ain't working. The only thing I could see is something happened after they got home, after he took out the trash, something happened, and she's had to have gotten rid of him when she left.
Yeah.
You would think there'd be some on camera of somebody going in and out of the neighborhood or whatever. Emma says Katie knows.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think so too. I think just like
if I had to pick, it would be her.
Just like I think Candace knows.
Mm-hmm.
That's why it's wild to me. People seem to get hung up on the person that wasn't there in both instances.
Right.
Like so many people on Dawn's ass.
Yep.
In Summer's case, so many people on Chris's ass in this case.
They weren't there.
I'd start with the person that admitted being the supervisor of the child at that time. And that's not Dawn and that's not Chris. Right. That's Candace and Katie.
Right. They're responsible. They wouldn't miss it on their time.
But then Seth said it was trash taking out video was so grainy he couldn't be positive if it was him, so that created more speculation.
Oh.
I think I'm going to think it was because I think he left the restaurant and I think he made it home.
Yeah.
I think whatever happened after that. But you'll never convince me that two people that didn't care enough for him to come home for 3 weeks were talking just nonchalant on the phone for hours.
Yeah, that's the weird thing for me. The 3-hour conversation.
Well, somebody that you could like, that's early dating stages that you could do that.
Oh, yeah.
Just met you. Need to find some stuff out about you. That's not, we've been married for 7 years. I haven't been in 3 weeks to see you. That's how much I'm dying in love with you. But all of a sudden, I'd love to see their call logs.
We have a deep conversation for 3 hours.
I would be willing to bet maybe a limb that you could go back on their call logs and you will never see a phone call of that length any other time. I'd almost be willing to bet. Wouldn't you?
Yeah, I agree. I don't think there would be a phone call more than 10, 20 minutes. You know, that's a normal call, probably. Less than that, probably.
That's the
They need to really look at that. I'm sure law enforcement has, but that's weird.
the phone call's the clue.
Yeah.
To me. And then her bullshit story. Oh, what were y'all talking about? Well, we were just talking and I was studying and reading.
You can't stay with somebody on the phone. Come on. Really?
How much studying you gonna retain talking to somebody on the phone while you're doing it?
Yeah, I don't make no sense.
You have to have a split personality to pull that off. Everyone is crashing their cars today. One car took off and ended up 7 to 8 feet in the air over a fence. It's being crazy. That's Emma, where she's a EMT. She's on. Emma's in the shit right now.
Oh no, that's not good.
Emma's on the front lines.
Car wreck.
That's why I like Emma so much. That's some do-good person right there, out helping people in car wrecks and stuff.
Yeah. That's a stressful job, I'm sure. You see a lot of stuff you don't want to see. But then you help save people's life too, so it's good that way.
Every parent's nightmare.
Yeah, I'm sure. That's why I'm not in any hurry to have my kids drive. But I am, I want them to get practice and stuff so they know how to drive.
Well, their son drives you to school every morning.
Yeah, my oldest.
Think there was any truth with Katie and Neighbor having a special relationship?
Maybe.
I don't know. I don't know. It wouldn't shock me if one of them wasn't cheating.
All right, because he's gone all the time.
Exactly.
And a woman needs attention. What? 3 hours, 3 weeks? That's a little long.
I used to be gone for 3 weeks.
Yeah, right.
I did in Seattle.
2 weeks, maybe. 3 weeks, a little bit long.
Yeah. No, it was 3 weeks every time.
I'm telling you, if you don't give your woman attention, they'll go find it somewhere else usually. I'm not talking about me. Yeah, you too. You better take that hint. That's true.
I don't know. I still say that. Too bad that phone call ain't recorded. I'd love to hear it. I guarantee it starts something like this. Chris, you're not going to believe this. What do I do?
Yeah.
I guarantee you something like that's in that phone call.
Yep.
Don't you?
Yep.
Do you guys talk for like 10 hours on the phone? I don't think me and Brandy's ever had a phone conversation over 10 minutes.
Yeah, probably not even that. Usually, I'm at the store. What do you want? You want anything? You want anything to eat? Okay, bye. Be home a little bit.
Even back when we were just started dating, we just seen each other. We didn't talk about nothing.
Yep.
Didn't we?
Nope. My nose started ringing.
We all need attention, just the right sort.
Yep.
Some point I believed it, but now she's off gallivanting. She wouldn't have much time with him. Confused. Lost it.
Women, if they start acting out if you don't give them attention. I think a lot of them. say? Just a hint, a clue. Or they start being mean to you.
My husband was in another state for almost a year, and I could take about 15 minutes a night on the phone.
After a while, what do you have to talk about, you know?
You're not going to convince me people that aren't in love enough to come see each other
Yeah.
are in love enough to talk for 3 hours on the phone or have the urge to.
Yeah, it's weird.
Never convinced me of that.
I know the phone records would say a lot about that. You know, their history of phone conversations.
Well, Emma, you're here. We can ask you. You'd be the one to ask. That person that was saying they had Sebastian, Emma, has that person been found out and all that? Do we know who that is? Has any actions been taken toward said person?
That's mean, whoever it is, to do something like that.
You know, you totally scored with that pretty lady, John Davis.
He forgets half the time, I think.
I do not. I told you was pretty just the other day.
Yeah. Oh, I tell you, you're pretty all the time.
Mental health, I think, or learning difficulty. Okay. I kind of figure that's probably 95% of those.
But still, I don't know. You think that? I don't know why you do that.
CP was too busy lining up for wife number 6 to go home. JLR has receipts. I heard, I'd seen some of the JLRs where he talked to the waitress that said that he was a customer there so frequent he had a nickname and shit, but they didn't know he was married or had a stepson.
Oh, wow.
Last time I heard, nothing had happened and he had not been seen. I'm just glad somebody looked into it. You never know.
Yeah, really. Crazy people out there.
I'm sure the first one that goes ignored would be the one.
Yep. They actually did something.
Brandy is not pretty. She is beautiful.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Contact John if you have a weird crime story for Weird Wednesday. Yeah, we're going to do new Tuesday tomorrow. I want somebody. Let me put up my email real quick.
Okay. Tomorrow's new case.
Any cases that you got a missing flyer poster for, I want you to send them to me, and we're going to go over them tomorrow. Any you got? Hopefully you have some we haven't heard of.
Yeah.
That's what we're looking for. Unsolved missing cases.
That need more attention.
Need more attention, yeah. Yeah, don't send me John Benet Ramsey's poster or Madeline McCann.
Yeah.
You think Madeline McCann will ever be figured out?
Probably not.
Probably not. I think she could still be alive.
You think?
Yeah.
Maybe.
I think it might have been some kind of
sex trafficking.
Yeah, some kind of trafficking thing.
Sick. But that's what they do. They groom like them from an early age. They groom them to what they want them to be.
Yeah, email the new missing person posters to John Davis True Crime at yahoo.com. We're going to show some tomorrow. We're going to have one new one tomorrow if it kills me to show at least. I'm going to find something. I know I've seen a couple that I hadn't heard of, but I haven't determined that they haven't been found yet. I don't want to pull a lip lock no more and present a case that's already been solved.
I felt bad. You worked on that too for a week or two.
That's so funny. God bless her. God bless her.
She's doing her investigative work though.
Emma's going live tomorrow night, first time in ages.
Oh.
What time you going live, Emma? We'll go ahead and give you a commercial. Time's it going to be tomorrow night? Tuesday nights with Emma. None of the Tennessee cases are be solved. People stay away from that state.
Yeah, I know.
Tell you what,
it's weird, and a lot of stuff happens in that state, don't it?
TBI don't impress me. I'll tell you that.
They don't impress me much neither. A lot of people go missing, not found, and a lot of kids not found.
Robert Picton is applying for day parole here in Canada.
Who's that?
Okay, you have to refresh me on Robert Picton. None of the I haven't heard. Sounds like a murderer to me. All right, guys, we appreciate everybody for coming. Appreciate all the mods' help. Burnt Dirt, thank you.
Thank you.
Tina.
Thanks everybody for coming.
Sonia, all the members. Not a drama nana. And we'll see y'all at 9 sharp in the morning with a fresh case.
Yep.
And everybody have a great rest of your day. We'll see you tomorrow.
Bye. Have a good day.